All right, all right. Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, let's take a look at whatever the most valuable message may be right now. Magician in the reverse. That actually comes with a bit of like a nudge of a warning, like, hey, somebody's not being 100% true about what it is that they're trying to manifest. There is the energy of like, take a closer look at something. We followed up with a Four of Cups. We have is somebody maybe lying to themselves. We could have a Virgo or a Gemini who's lying to themselves a bit and buying into an illusion, and that illusion could cause them a bit of heartbreak. What does that mean? We've got a Queen of Wands. We have the Fool. We have the High Priestess. We have the Sun. And we have the Six of Cups. Lying to oneself, buying into an illusion that could be disappointing could be, unfortunately, that we've got maybe a Queen of Wands who is saying, I know someone's about to take this big leap of faith. I can feel it. It's making me really happy. My soulmate is on their way back in. Hang on. So does that mean that it's not? I'm not 100% sure yet. This could flip us in a completely different direction, because there's a whole nother thought that I have right now, but I need to get another card from a different deck before I can figure this out. We've got a Queen of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups sideways. That didn't help. We still have this like shared energy. It's almost like two people are starting to either think I'm lying to myself. Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups in the reverse. Oh no, this is a very interesting story. This is about somebody's trying to talk themselves out of something that their intuition knows. I couldn't figure out where the lie was. Where is it that somebody is like disempowering themselves and saying this isn't true? I'm sure that there's no way that there's someone out there that cares about me. There's no way. I mean, all my intuition, all the emotions I've been having, the belief that there is a soulmate, the belief that, life happens for a reason, the belief that things can align. Two people are currently telling themselves that's all hogwash. My heart doesn't know anything. My intuition doesn't know anything. My subconscious doesn't know anything. Nobody's coming for me. Nobody's thinking about me. That is not true. And they're telling themselves this as a way to like put up a brace, put up a boundary that says that, so I don't need to be sad about it. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm not going to lose anything because I never even had anything. And so there's no reason to cry. Oh, I want to give this person a gigantic hug because they're talking themselves out of some amazing emotion and something that they could feel, but now they're saying, no, it isn't true. I don't feel that. That's just, crazy talk. I don't think it's crazy talk. Let's put it this way. In this big, huge world with so many people on it, I would weigh and bet everything in the real world. This is fictional storytelling, but in the real world, I would bet absolutely everything I have on the fact that every single person on earth has somebody who thinks the world of them and they don't even know it. I absolutely believe that. And so to ever say, oh, it's ridiculous to think that somebody, is like a soulmate or they're thinking of me or they care about me, that's ridiculous. I say hogwash to that. That's not ridiculous at all. We have a Five of Swords. This person with all these fives, they're like hell-bent. They're like, well, show me proof then. I get it. We are dealing with characters. I feel like it's got to be more than one. It's got to be two, possibly earth energies, only because we have that Queen of Pentacles sideways that are saying it's, of course, nobody's thinking of me. I don't, and they're kind of getting hostile about it. They're like mad at themselves for believing in what they're trying to claim as a fantasy, a fairy tale. The only thing that'll make this person believe it is if they see some kind of action. Really, I'm picturing somebody who's like, then fine, show it to me. Oh, that's real? Then fine, show it to me. That's how this is coming across. Look, I'm not laughing. I completely understand. And I also think it's good for our character to be grounded enough because, okay, believing in things that really are not true, telling ourselves absolute falsehoods can lead us astray. On the other hand, being somebody who squashes out their own intuition and keeps insisting like there's no way, when of course there is a way, that's equally as, can take us down the wrong road. I get where this person's coming from 100%, though. They don't want to believe in something that isn't legit, and they're kind of fed up with believing in stuff that doesn't happen. We have the moon. Here's the rub on this one. Our character is kind of like demanding to see stuff, and they're not going to be able to see it the way they want to for proof, because the moon is here. By the way, we just had our full moon. That was yesterday. We did, all the zodiacs got a full moon storyline, and a few got extra bonuses by request. So check out those videos from yesterday if you don't know about it. I think Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and Aquarius all got extra bonuses. So you will find those in the respective playlists. But you notice how we've got the ancestors sitting here, and the moon is simply the things that are hidden, the things that are in the subconscious, the things that are known. And it's the stuff that sometimes is on, like our ancestors on the other side of the veil are sitting there, assisting us or being a part of this, even though we don't see them, even though we don't know it, even though we're not super connected. But this is definitely somebody who's like lost belief in love, but they really haven't. It's that they're pissed. That's what I get. This is a character who's like just fed up with the, yeah, I'm so sure that there's something so fabulous out there for me. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's not going to present the way this character thinks it should or wants it to. Tell me just about the moon. Explain that one in more detail. See, High Priestess again and the Sun again. There's something where our character is actually being asked to hold on to the good emotions associated with the concept of, well, if I feel some kind of nice vibe inside of me, maybe that is as much evidence as I'll have right now. But isn't that a beautiful thing? Going with my subconscious and feeling some kind of a connection, feeling something that makes me happy, sensing that there's happiness headed my way. That's kind of what our character is being asked to simply, yes, blindly believe in. But let's put it this way. Would it be better to walk around in piss offedness? Is that going to make our character have a better day or a better energy around them? These very harsh fives. Would it be better to walk around with these very harsh words and harsh thoughts and lonely energy? Or would it be better to say, so what if I walked around and I actually felt a little warm glow, even though I have no evidence as to why I'm feeling this warm glow? Why can't I walk around and feel the nice warm glow that I'm legitimately feeling, even though I don't really have evidence as to why? Wouldn't that be a better energy to walk around in than saying, conversely, I don't really have evidence as to why I should be so pissed off and say love isn't real, there's nobody out there, blah, blah, blah. Of course there's somebody out there. There's more than 8 billion people on this planet. It is so ridiculous to think that just because we're not in a connection at the moment that somehow love doesn't exist. I mean, that's more craziness. I feel like our character is being asked to, well, they don't really have a choice because it's not showing up the way they want it to at the moment. There is still something still hidden, but this is like our character is being encouraged to just go ahead and roll with the fact that they feel some internal happiness. Embrace it. Don't turn it off. Don't run from it. Embrace that. We got a lot of energy of the sun and the moon, which is the divine counterparts. If you look here, we had the full moon on this High Priestess card that came out right next to the sun. Now we've got the High Priestess, the moon, and the sun all over again. Really strong energy of balance, even though it's not visible. Lots of times things aren't visible even in the sky or in the night sky. Things are present that we can't always see. We have to kind of let our character shift onto the positive trust in the universe instead of this negative trust in the universe that what I know is nothing good ever happens, because that's actually not true. They're believing in an illusion that there is no happiness. Now, does this mean that they have one particular person in their mind and every signify that person's happily married someplace else, but they're like, that's a person that I wanted to suddenly come toward me? and I've built this whole fantasy up. No, I can understand how that would be a fantasy. Lusting after somebody else who's happily married in some other connection who's never been yours in the first place is probably that would be fantasy, right? But this is more like this character is saying there is no happy love story for me, period. And that is the part that is absolutely untrue. And again, the universe is just nudging them to say, that you've got a nice vibe. You have something sweet, something the inside somewhere is feeling happy. Why are you trying to squash that? Because you don't have evidence of proof that this precise love story is coming toward you. Just roll with that nice vibe, because there's more truth to that than there is to this bitterness that our character is almost trying to intentionally like hype up inside themselves. I'm going to get bitter. I'm going to say this isn't true. I don't like this BS happy feeling I'm feeling. It is interesting because our character actually has a good vibe and they're trying to like squash it. Okay, let's keep moving. What else do we have in regards to this? We got a soulmate energy and it's sideways. Whether or not these characters know it, and I do say characters because we already had like a shared energy where two people, possibly both earth energies, have been feeling the same way. This isn't true. This is BS. This is nothing. And it says both of them actually feel a pull toward each other. There is a soulmate energy. Soulmates can be past life soulmates that are, gravitating into each other's worlds. We don't always see it coming because, it's kind of like one of those cosmic soul group things where it's like these characters slowly but surely migrate into each other's worlds. And I have got earaches. I have been having earaches lately. I have to go take care of my ears. Sorry, I'm just noticing that my ears feel really fuzzy. Hanged Man, perspective shift. Sorry, I'm like trying to open my ears. Maybe this is part of this story because it's so weird to feel this way. I haven't felt this way. I used to get earaches as a kid, but it's almost like maybe these characters are like not hearing. Maybe they need to open their ears a little bit better to the way the universe is communicating with them. Maybe they're muffled, or maybe there's a reason. Sometimes, there's a reason that certain things aren't supposed to keep getting through. The Hanged Man, the perspective shift, the delay in this shouldn't be seen as a delay. What should it be seen as? Strength cards sideways. Both of them are working on strengthening. We have the Action of Cups. It's just that this romance isn't coming in until there's cherry blossoms on the trees. 6 of Swords and 2 of Pentacles. This is a romance that absolutely is out there, but it's not like present in the exact moment that they maybe would like it to be. And this kind of says move on from the idea that it has to happen at a certain time, and embrace the fact that, look, if we think about nature, you can stare at, if you're in the northern hemisphere like I am, you can stare at all those naked tree limbs and say, I want flowers on them. I want spring to be here. But we're actually still dealing with winter landscapes right now. So if you look closely, some things already have little buds on them for sure, but they're not in full, beautiful blossom like this, right? Because it's not that season yet. And we don't get mad and we don't say, well, this will never bloom. Although sometimes it's tempting to feel that way because winter can be pretty bleak. But this just says, don't look at something as bleak. Look at it as, oh, quit ticking off the moments where, see, still not here. See, that tells me that it's not real. I'm not going to have a romance. This says, imagine that it's more like the way the cherry blossoms, when it's the right time, when they know when it's the right time. We don't have to tell the trees, okay, I'm thinking that it's, this is probably a good temperature for you. You can put on buds. They won't be frozen off. You can go ahead and start to blossom. We don't stand there and tell the cherry blossoms when to do that. They know when to do it. It's out of our control, but it will happen on the right time. And so somehow being more flexible, I look at this as a card of a necessity to be flexible and not thinking that we're supposed to stand there and tick off the minutes that, see, still didn't happen. See, that lover didn't come toward me. See, there is no lover out there for me. There is no soulmate. Nobody's coming into my life. This says, let go of that thought. And instead, for our character to trust that it's actually going to happen right when it's supposed to. I know, hard thing to like be so chill about, when I do feel like our character needs like a sign. And in fact, both of our characters, right? Because this, it feels like it's two characters who both could really use some kind of a sign. So universe, can you give them something that will help them to like maybe have faith or have confidence that the spring will come again? Ace of Swords. Well, the universe says they already know this, but there could be look for truth in something. Only because my ears are hurting again, I'm going to say look or listen for the truth of, with the lightning that's coming in. I guess lightning could be a sign as well, but I see the lightning is invigorating these, the sword of truth, which can be about words. It could be about a moment of an epiphany. It could also be like listen for some sentence or song or something that just like speaks a very blunt message that's like, oh, that's actually really nice. I don't know. There's something that has like a sound of a crack to it also, like a lightning, a thunder crack or something. But it could be like a crackling stereo or something. And then the song comes in and it's like, oh wow, those lyrics are, that's so crazy. That's like exactly the confirmation that I needed. Or I usually look at this more as like inner truth though. And there are moments of like searing inner truth, and we see it, and it can be a collection of lots of different things. Sometimes I look at lightning as our neurons in our brain making connections, and it still asks our character to just say, what you know. So get back to that. Don't start trying to insist some dialogue of I'm lying to myself, everything is a lie. That's going against what the intuition has already been telling these characters. This says go with what you know to be true instead of trying to tell yourself a lie about this is all a lie. What about for our other character? What might be something that would help them? Three of Pentacles. Somebody might open a book to a passage and read it. Somebody might be hearing something or being encouraged to read something by, through somebody else. This definitely makes me think of Desiderata, that poem. I think it was attributed eventually to Max Erm, but I've also seen other sources that said they didn't know who had written it. It was like inscribed on the side of a temple at some point in time, but I've heard both. So I think we landed on saying it's attributed to Max Erm. But Desiderata is this really, really beautiful poem. And if there is a philosophy that I can fully get behind, it is that poem myself. I don't think there's any line in it that isn't 100% true for what I would say. Like, yeah, I completely believe that. I completely agree with that. But it's really pretty, and it's very much one of the like latter lines in it is, you are how does it go? No less than the stars and the trees. You are, meant to be here. You belong. Something along those lines. I'm not quoting it properly, but it's kind of like, I think there's other relationships also and other things to collaborate on for our character to pay attention to. Spending time with people, whether it's cooking, whether it's, creating a recipe together, whether it's getting some kind of conversation or being, recommended a book to read or something like that. However this goes, that's a confirmation for the other character. So there's both of these things have to do with like possibly language, communication, and thought processes. Those are going to be the things that might help these characters the most to stay more optimistic. But the big message in this is for characters to, especially this is like characters who are not in union, that don't have anybody in their life right now, and they're tempted to say, yeah, because it's all BS. There is no such thing as love. And it's like, just because we don't have love in our life in this very moment, that is absolutely false to say that there is none, or that there never will be any and never has been any. At least in this story, it's a very gentle encouragement to, not start to give way to these negative thoughts, because those negative thoughts are the ones that are not true. All right, I'm going to leave those messages here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.